When we talk about the human body, especially how it stays alive, we are really talking about transport and exchange. Your body is not just sitting there looking pretty.
Every second it is moving oxygen, nutrients and waste products around like a busy delivery system that never gets a break.
Let's start with the lungs, because without them, everything else quietly stops working. The lungs are responsible for gas exchange. This means they take in oxygen from the air and remove carbon dioxide from the body. Oxygen is needed by your cells for respiration, which is the process that releases energy. Carbon dioxide is a waste gas that must be removed because it is harmful if it builds up. The lungs sit in the thorax, which is the upper part of your body. They are protected by the rib cage, which acts like a strong cage around them. Below the lungs is a muscle called the diaphragm. This muscle plays a key role in breathing by helping air move in and out of the lungs. When you breathe in, air enters through the trachea. The trachea is like a main air tube. It then splits into two bronchi, one going into each lung.
Inside the lungs, each bronchus branches into smaller tubes called bronchioles.
These bronchioles keep dividing until they end in tiny air sacs called alveoli. This structure is not random. It is designed to move air deeper and deeper into the lungs until it reaches the alveoli, where gas exchange happens. The alveoli are extremely important. There are millions of them, and they are surrounded by a network of tiny blood vessels called capillaries. The walls of the alveoli are very thin and moist. This allows gases to move easily between the air and the blood. Gas exchange happens by diffusion. This means substances move from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration. In the alveoli, oxygen is in high concentration because you just breathed it in. In the blood arriving at the lungs, oxygen is low because it has been used by the body. So oxygen moves from the alveoli into the blood. At the same time, carbon dioxide is high in the blood and low in the alveoli. So carbon dioxide moves from the blood into the alveoli and is then breathed out. The lungs are specially adapted to make this process efficient. They have a very large surface area because of the many alveoli. The walls are very thin, which reduces the distance gases have to travel. They have a good blood supply, which keeps the concentration difference high. All of this increases the speed of diffusion. Once oxygen enters the blood, it is carried around the body by the circulatory system. The circulatory system is responsible for transporting substances like oxygen, nutrients, hormones, and waste products. It consists of the heart, blood vessels, and blood. Humans have a double circulatory system. This means there are two loops or circuits. One circuit carries blood between the heart and the lungs. The other carries blood between the heart and the rest of the body. In the first circuit, the heart pumps deoxygenated blood to the lungs. This blood picks up oxygen and returns to the heart. In the second circuit, the heart pumps oxygenated blood to the rest of the body. The cells use the oxygen, and the blood returns to the heart carrying carbon dioxide. The heart is the pump that makes all of this possible. It is made mostly of muscle and works continuously without stopping. It has 4 chambers. The right atrium and right ventricle deal with deoxygenated blood. The left atrium and left ventricle deal with oxygenated blood. Blood enters the heart through veins. It first fills the atria. Then the atria contract and push the blood into the ventricles. The ventricles then contract and push the blood out of the heart through arteries. Valves in the heart make sure the blood flows in the correct direction and does not flow backwards. Without valves, blood would move randomly and your body would be in serious trouble very quickly. The heart also has its own electrical control system called the pacemaker. This is a group of cells in the right atrium that send electrical signals to control the heartbeat. If this system fails, an artificial pacemaker can be used to keep the heart beating regularly. Blood travels through 3 types of blood vessels. Arteries carry blood away from the heart. The blood is under high pressure, so arteries have thick, strong, and elastic walls. Capillaries are very small and have walls that are only 1 cell thick. This allows substances like oxygen and nutrients to pass easily into body cells. They form a huge network throughout the body, reaching almost every cell. Veins carry blood back to the heart. The pressure is lower, so their walls are thinner. They have a larger space inside called a lumen, and they contain valves to prevent backflow. Now let's talk about blood itself, because it is not just a red liquid. It is actually a tissue made of different parts, each with a specific job. Red blood cells carry oxygen. They contain a substance called hemoglobin, which binds to oxygen. They have a special shape that increases their surface area, and they do not have a nucleus, which gives them more space to carry oxygen. White blood cells are part of the immune system. They protect the body from disease.
Some of them engulf and destroy microorganisms.
Others produce antibodies and antitoxins to fight infections. Platelets help the blood to clot. When you get a cut, platelets gather at the site and form a clot to stop bleeding and prevent infection. Plasma is the liquid part of blood. It carries all the cells and also transports nutrients, carbon dioxide, urea, hormones, and proteins around the body. To help you lock this into your brain, instead of letting it leak out 5 minutes later, here are some questions with clear answers. Question: what is the function of the lungs? The lungs carry out gas exchange by taking in oxygen and removing carbon dioxide from the body. Question: describe the path of air through the lungs. Air enters through the trachea, moves into the bronchi, then into the bronchioles, and finally reaches the alveoli where gas exchange occurs. Question: Why are alveoli well suited for gas exchange? They have a large surface area, thin walls, a moist lining, and a good blood supply, which all increase the rate of diffusion. Question: what is the function of the circulatory system? It transports oxygen, nutrients, hormones, and waste products around the body. Question: what are the two circuits in the human circulatory system? One circuit carries blood between the heart and lungs for gas exchange, and the other carries blood between the heart and the rest of the body. Question: name the 4 chambers of the heart.
Right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium, and left ventricle.
Question: what is the role of valves in the heart? They prevent blood from flowing backwards and ensure it moves in the correct direction. Question: what is the function of the pacemaker? It controls the heart rate by sending electrical signals that cause the heart muscle to contract. Question: what do arteries do? They carry blood away from the heart under high pressure. Question: what do veins do? They carry blood back to the heart and contain valves to prevent backflow. Question: what is the function of capillaries? They allow the exchange of substances like oxygen, nutrients, and waste products between the blood and body cells. Question:
what is the role of red blood cells?
They transport oxygen using hemoglobin. Question: what is the role of white blood cells? They defend the body against pathogens by destroying them or producing antibodies. Question: what is the role of platelets? They help blood to clot and prevent excessive bleeding. Question: what does plasma do? It transports blood cells, nutrients, waste products, hormones, and proteins around the body. Question: a person takes 366 breaths in 9 minutes. What is their breathing rate?
366 divided by 9 equals 40.7, so the breathing rate is about 41 breaths per minute.
Question: 1,075 milliliters of blood flows in 5 minutes. What is the rate of blood flow? 1075 divided by 5 equals 215 milliliters per minute, which is below the normal range, so this suggests a possible blockage. Question: why can blocked coronary arteries cause heart attacks? They reduce the supply of oxygen to the heart muscle, which can cause the muscle to stop working properly or become damaged. Question: which patient is more at risk of infection if their white blood cell count is low? The patient with the lower white blood cell count is more at risk because white blood cells fight infection.